Hello YouTube and welcome back to some Forza Motorsport GT3 racing. This week we are racing 15 laps at Suzuka, and I am continuing to use the Audi R8 because I find it to be so fun to use, so satisfying, and been having a lot of good luck with it. Like normal, start in the middle of the pack because I like seeing a green arrow next to my name at the end of the race. Much easier to get overtakes when everyone starts in front of you. Accidentally bump Chuck in that Aston on turn 1. It wasn't on purpose, but he's definitely not going to let me forget about it. And that's not foreshadowing anything in the race. Maybe a little. You have to stick around to find out. But now we're chasing down Baroni in the 3rd place Aston. And as we start to chase him down, life gets a little easier because the guy in 2nd in the AMG decides to turn right on a left-hander, giving us a free overtake. And as we chase Baroni down, I decide to be ambitious and shoot the inside gap, tap his wheels, almost murder him, try to straighten him out because I'm a good guy, almost murder him again because of it, which allows every car to slip on by us, including Chuck in the Aston, who is going to bump us here to remind us that we bumped him. But I try to be a little sneaky and get a little overtake on the outside of him, but he's going to have none of that and just continue to punt us into the grass. Receive a 1 second meaningless penalty because we'll never be able to catch up to him after that. But time to chase down the pack from last. And fortunately, I do catch up as we start to creep up on 9th place Swamp Donkey in the AMG, the original 2nd place guy who turned right on a left-hander. And now, as we catch up to him in this technical bit at Suzuka, we can also see in front of him Baroni, who we almost murdered, also up there. So we are catching up to the rest of the pack, and we're about to have one hell of an overtake here. Massive big brain move as I'm just kidding. There's nothing interesting here. He just goes off and we go by. Almost kill ourselves in the process, but kind of save it. And now we're 9th. Wow. If you thought that overtake was impressive though, I have an even better one coming up. As we chase down Baroni again, he realizes that he can't win, and like any Forza player that knows he can't win, he decides to just quit the game. Instantly putting us into 7th place, which is absolutely lovely. Simply lovely, some would say. And now we gotta chase down 6th place. To make sure it's not too easy for myself though, I'm gonna completely botch this hairpin and miss my braking reference, which causes me to go a little off the track here and pick up a small time gain penalty of 0.1 seconds. Now, I don't think I really gained any time there, and even going back in the replay, it looks extremely subjective, which, you know, the stewards just aren't on my side today. So we're gonna have to take that penalty and just eat it up as we chase down the 3 cars ahead of us. Luckily though, they are all losing pace, whether it's due to their tires running out of grip because it's lap 6 and my mediums are pretty cooked, or it's because they're bumping and rubbing because they're so close to each other. I don't know. But going down the straight, we're about 2 seconds behind, and that time just slowly depletes through these next couple of turns. And to make it even better, both the yellow AMG and the purple Lexus both decide to pit, which skyrockets us into 5th place. So not looking too bad after being punted in the last place on lap 1. But now we gotta chase down 4th place, who isn't too far ahead, but there is some time to gain. But by the time we got to the hairpin, I had made up most of that time, and even going into the spoon, we are starting to get a lot more time on him. And to make matters even easier, he goes just a tad wide, allowing us to scoot on through. And you can probably see it, I get the moderate tire wear notification, which I'm pretty sure I completely missed while I was racing, because going into the next turn, I completely carried way too much speed and almost botched the entire race. Luckily, don't die and only pick up a small penalty, but that's enough to basically tell me, yeah, the tires are gone, time the pit. And that's exactly what the McLaren behind thought as well. So as we leave the pits, we're going to go right into immediate racing. And to make it just a bit more spicy, the two cars that we overtook previously undercut us and overtake us again. So back in the 6th place, but we're not going to be there for too long, because while we're chasing them down this lap, the yellow AMG goes off into the sand here, making a bit of an oopsies, and rejoins pretty unsafely, causing the Lexus to have his exit compromise, and which is just enough to make him decide, I'm gonna murder you. So he full sends it into him. They have a bit of a crash, and I just get a little bit of the butt end of it, but the stewards decide that the entire incident is my fault and give me the full 2-second penalty. Which is fine. The stewards and I just aren't friends today. The only real negative is my safety rating is going to go down, which is only going to make all future races even more fun and interesting. But as we go down this straight, the Mercedes is right on my butt, and I have new tires now. Last lap I didn't, so I completely misinterpret how much speed I'm supposed to carry through here again. I don't go off this time because I have grip, but it allows the AMG to catch up, and I'm starting to learn why the Lexus didn't like him, because he's just a little too pushy. But as we start to go into the main straight, we do pull a little bit away from him just to create a bit of separation for turn 1, but not enough to really pull away. We're still going to have quite a bit of anxiety with a huge group of cars behind us. Now, the yellow AMG gets a bit ambitious here, tries to scoot it up on the inside, but just isn't able to pull it off, which allows the McLaren behind him to catch up, and they have a little bit of a battle themselves, which causes me to be able to build a nice cushion of a gap between me and 5th place of about 2 seconds. But because we don't like things being too easy on ourselves, I'm gonna completely botch turn 1. I'm gonna blame it on the glare of the sun, but we're gonna go wide and just lose that entire cushion that we just made, and the McLaren just catches up to about a second. But we're gonna learn from that mistake and do it again on turn 1, and we're gonna completely, I don't even know why I started putting my foot in the gas so early, but it allows the McLaren to go on through, putting us down into 5th place, which is no big deal. We got 3 laps left. We can figure this out. Now, because I've had such good luck this race, I decided to do the riskiest overtake I could think of, and after this hairpin, I decide I'm going to try to overtake on the outside. I don't know if anyone's tried to do this before, but it is almost always a death trap because of the turn. You're just going into the turn blindly, and almost every time I've done it, I go right into the grass. But we're actually almost able to pull it off. Not able to, I guess, actually pull it off, but we're still right behind this McLaren spot, and we're going to chase him down this straight that we've had such good luck on, and go on the inside, and for the first time the entire race, we're going to brake and take the appropriate amount of speed through the turn. Now, that's not going to give me the overtake, but we're getting closer, and going into this bit, I'm able to get a much better line than he is, and I'm able to start pulling away again. But we're not going to pull too far away, because me being me, I have to mess up yet again another turn. This one, far worse than the other mess-ups. I almost take both of us out, but luckily I only take myself out, and I just continue to have my safety ranking go lower and lower because I do not know how to drive. But here's the thing. Now we have a fun challenge to overcome. If I want to pass this McLaren, I have to clear 2.5 seconds worth of penalties in order to keep 4th place, which is quite a pipe dream. But to make it even more interesting, we're going to go off here and collect another 1.5 seconds worth of penalties. Now, in hindsight, this was actually kind of a big brain move because it puts us right up to his butt, and we can enter his slipstream right on this main straight, so we can get the overtake done on this main straight. But now we have to clear 3 seconds worth of penalties in order to keep 4th place, which actually works out pretty well. He takes turn 1 way too wide, probably due to his tires, and slowly but surely we are making a 3-second gap. Just down to this sector right now, we're looking over 2 seconds. So just have to get 1 more second, and by the time that we're, down to the last turn, we actually have taken that 3-second gap. I don't know how. I have no idea how, but we did it. And looking at 3rd place, Chuck's 1 second penalty didn't really hurt him that much because he finished 30 plus seconds ahead of us. But we're not going to let that ruin our day, because even after being punted in the 10th, we were able to climb all the way back up to 4th place, which I'm happy with. If you stuck around this long, I want to say thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in any more Forza Motorsport GT3 or GT2, any of the spec racing, consider liking the video or subscribing. I post these kind of videos once a week. Until next time, see you guys later.